The Mariners' biggest acquisition at the 2023 MLB trade deadline was that of Dominic Canzone, Ryan Bliss, and Josh Rojas. Mariners didn't do much, but this trade alone made this team a team to watch for the future. While Dominic Canzone has not played a major role for the Mariners thus far, he is drawing comparisons to a fan favorite Mariner, a guy who was the heart and soul of this team for the better part of 4 or 5 years. The comparisons on these two run deep. Mitch Haniger was a player for the Mariners that they acquired, again, from the Diamondbacks in a relatively big trade, who had made some adjustments and became the best hitter on that team when healthy. And believe it or not, Dominic Canzone has the same exact story. Now there's one sneaky thing that we need to talk about comparing these two, and we'll talk about that just a little bit later in this video, but first, let's compare their numbers. For the Diamondbacks in 2023 at AAA, Dominic Canzone had 304 plate appearances. He hit 354, 431, 634 with a 1,065 OPS. He also slugged 16 home runs with 71 RBI. Mitch Haniger's final year in the Arizona Diamondbacks farm system, he had 548 plate appearances. He hit 321, 419, 581 with a 999 OPS. He had 25 home runs and 94 RBI. Mitch had about double the plate appearances that Canzone had. He, of course, also slugged double the home runs that Canzone did, but he hit 321, 419, 581 compared to Canzone's 354, 431, 634. Just comparing the two, Dominic Canzone was certainly the better player at AAA in the minor leagues for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and both of them got a cup of coffee with the Diamondbacks in the major leagues. Now, obviously, in terms of when the trades went down, they were a little different, right? Mitch Haniger came over the day before Thanksgiving in a big trade that sent Taijuan Walker to the Diamondbacks, whereas of course Canzone came over in the trade that sent Paul Sewald to the Diamondbacks. So Canzone was traded during the season, so his sample size is a little bit different than what we got out of Mitch Haniger in the major league level. With the Diamondbacks, Canzone played in only 15 games. He hit 237, 293, 368. He did hit one home run with 8 RBI. He walked twice and struck out 8 times. Whereas with Mitch, he had 34 games with the Diamondbacks. He hit 229, 309, 404. He hit 5 home runs in that time with 17 RBI. He struck out 27 times while walking 12. Mitch had put up an OPS plus of 83 while he was with the Diamondbacks, whereas Dominic Canzone put up an OPS plus of 82. And I'm telling you, the comparisons don't stop there with these two. Obviously, Mitch Haniger is someone that was beloved by Mariners fans, but he could not stay healthy. Hopefully that's not the case with Dominic Canzone, and he stays healthy the rest of his career. In his first year with the Mariners, Mitch Haniger hit 282, 352, 491 with a 127 OPS plus, 16 home runs, and 47 RBI in 96 games. Obviously, Mitch got a lot more playing time than Dominic Canzone has, and Canzone hasn't seen a whole lot in terms of playtime throughout his time with the Mariners thus far, but that's just because there's already guys that are taking up those spots. However, with the departure of, say, Teoscar Hernandez at the end of this season, or maybe other guys throughout trades or whatnot, there's a good chance that Dominic Canzone gets to start in one of those outfield positions and maybe even at first base. But now we have to talk about the big glaring thing that compares these two so nicely together, and that is the swing change that Dominic Canzone made prior to last season. Dominic Canzone in High A Hillsboro called his hitting coach saying that he wanted to make a change to his swing. Canzone said, "A couple of swing adjustments were really big for me. Once I was able to get a higher finish, I started to do a little bit better and get some of those harder hits in the air and do a little bit more damage." In 2021, Canzone hit 302, 375, 522 with 14 home runs in 79 games for Hillsboro and AA Amarillo. The hitting coach said that Canzone was the first one to say that he needed to make an adjustment, and Canzone did it all himself. Here's the big part though. He said that getting healthy, adjusting his finish, and getting his pretty decent size leg kick more under control helped him get going. Pretty decent sized leg kick, huh? Let's take a look at what Mitch Haniger did when he changed his swing. Mitch Haniger asked, why was it that hitters that were not as strong as him were able to drive the ball with more authority to the opposite field? That question, Haniger said, led him to make a series of swing changes, and those changes have helped him get called up to the majors. In AA and AAA, Mitch hit 325, 423, 588 in 119 games. His slugging went from 379 the year before to 588 that year. But here's what Mitch had to say. He implemented a leg kick and finished with impressive numbers, hitting 332, 381, 619. Then in the offseason, he made changes to his load and his swing path, adopting similar techniques used by Josh Donaldson, AJ Pollock, and others. The result, Haniger said, is a better ability to hit the ball to all fields and enhanced pitch recognition. A big leg kick that helps him hit the ball to all fields, huh? Sounds a lot like Dominic Canzone. Both of these guys were called up as rookies at the age of 25 years old. Polished rookies that can play a corner outfield spot. A big leg kick that helps him hit the ball to all fields kind of reminds me a little bit of Dominic Canzone's first hit with the Mariners. He's a guy who has massive power to the opposite field into, let's say, the bullpens, for example. And when you look at Dominic Canzone's spray chart, yeah, you can see he can hit to all fields, including doubles to the left side. Here's Haniger's spray chart from his first year with the Mariners, and you can see he had some opposite field power, including hitting a few home runs and doubles to the right field side. And in terms of pitch recognition, yeah, you can see that Mitch Haniger was not chasing pitches, he wasn't swinging through all that many pitches, and his max exit velocity was one of the best in the game. Now, of course, there are some differences here. Dominic Canzone is not quite as big as Mitch Haniger. Canzone is 5'11", 190 pounds, compared to Mitch, who is like 6'2". Will Dominic Canzone ever hit 40 home runs for the Mariners like Mitch Haniger did? I'm not so sure, but Canzone has the gap-to-gap power where he can hit it anywhere in the ballpark. The comparisons between these two aren't hard to find. They're very similar players, very similar profiles. But that one specific reason that the Mariners traded for Dominic Canzone, well, I talked about that in this video on the screen now. I want you guys to check that one out. I appreciate you guys watching this one, and go Mariners.